You walk in. You haven't said a word. Someone across the room starts explaining a decision you never asked about. A colleague laughs a little too quickly. Your friend keeps glancing at you mid-sentence like they are checking if you approve. You didn't do anything. You were just there. And somehow that was enough. Most people think intimidation comes from aggression, from dominance, from someone loud who forces attention. But that is not what we are talking about. There is a quieter kind of presence. One that doesn't demand attention but draws it anyway. One that doesn't threaten anyone and yet makes certain people uncomfortable without a single word. Psychologists call this nonverbal psychological dominance, and the people who have it almost never realize it. Here's what makes this strange. The people who have this effect are usually not the loudest. They are often the ones who feel invisible inside, who question themselves, who wonder why connection sometimes feels harder than it should. The same thing that unsettles others is the same thing that isolates them. Psychologist Albert Mehrabian found that over 55% of communication is nonverbal. Before you speak, your presence has already said something. The question is what? These are the 7 signs. Sign 1. You don't seek approval and people feel it. There is something deeply unsettling about someone who genuinely does not need validation. Not because you are cold, because you are complete. And that kind of self-containment reads as quiet power. Sign 2. You are comfortable in silence. Most people rush to fill silence because it makes them anxious. You don't. You can sit in it without needing to fix it. To you, it feels calm. To others, it feels unreadable, and that can feel threatening. Sign 3. People explain themselves around you without you asking. You ask a simple question and get long justifications. You were not judging. You were curious. But something in your presence makes people feel like they are being evaluated. Sign 4. You don't break eye contact first. Not as a power move. You are just present. But real eye contact makes people feel seen, and not everyone is comfortable with being seen. Sign 5. You say no without over-explaining. Most people soften their no. They apologize or add reasons. You don't. You say no because that is your answer. That kind of clarity is rare, and it unsettles people who are not used to it. Here's where it shifts. Because everything so far sounds like strength, and it is. But there is another side. The same presence that gives you quiet power can also make you feel alone. Because people project onto what they cannot read, and what they project is often fear. Sign 6. You make people feel exposed without trying. You observe more than you speak. You notice what others miss. And people who are performing feel that instantly, not because you judge them, but because your awareness removes the mask. Sign 7. And this one might surprise you. You feel everything more deeply than most people know. Behind the calm, behind the silence, there is someone who processes the world at a depth that can be exhausting. You notice what is not said. You feel shifts in energy. You pick up on what others ignore. Psychologists call this high sensory processing sensitivity. It means your nervous system takes in more than average. And that is why your presence carries weight, because depth is felt before it is understood. People do not always know why they react to you. They just know something is different. You were never trying to intimidate anyone. You just stayed real in a world that rewards performance. You stayed present when others pretended. You did not adjust yourself just to fit in. And that alone was enough to unsettle the room. You are not too much. You are not difficult. You are not cold. You just forgot to pretend. Drop a comment below which of these 7 signs felt the most like you.